Mario and Bowser have probably one of the most well-known rivalries out there. So many of the battles they've had over the years end up being some of the best and most iconic brawls in gaming. And being the main villain of the Mario series, he typically ends up being the final boss of the vast majority of the games. But obviously not every fight between these two ends up perfect. Now for the most part, the less than perfect battles aren't inherently bad, they're just either lackluster or forgettable. But other times, we get absolute garbage. I wanted to see which one of these fights was the worst of the worst. So today, I gathered a small handful of fights that meet this criteria, and we'll be going through them, seeing what makes them so bad to begin with. So yeah, simple as that. Why don't we just get right into it then? Now, I'll be honest with you, for this first fight I'm about to talk about, I personally don't even hate that much. But I swear, anytime I hear it talked about, everybody always gives it a bad rap. Mostly for how strange it is, which I guess it kinda makes sense since it's the Bowser fight from Mario Sunshine. This game has probably gotta be one of the weirdest entries in the entire series to begin with. We have a water jetpack, getting thrown into prison within the first 5 minutes of gameplay, and some grade A voice acting.
How dare you disturb my family vacation?
We haven't even started the fight and I'm already traumatized for life. Yeah, so for some reason, Bowser is in a tub of green slime in this fight. What the Like, what? Did Nickelodeon sponsor this game or something? Wouldn't be the first time a Nintendo game got sponsored. Basically, what you have to do is go to the 5 corners of the tub and do a rocket ground pound on each one. Simple, right? Well, no, not really. Bowser will breathe fire at you, and Junior will shoot bullet bills at your way, preventing you from doing so. All the while, Peach is just chilling out for some reason. Now, a couple of issues with this battle. First off, what the f*** were they smoking when they made this fight? And can I have some? Secondly, this fight is kinda buggy, not gonna lie. This fight can have some major slowdown when more than a couple projectiles are on screen, and I've had times where I've broken one of the corners, and when I'm climbing back up, I just fell through the floor. And lastly, this fight is super short, like, you could probably finish it in less than a minute if you tried. Now, it's not the shortest Bowser fight out there. Trust me, we'll get to that soon. But it kind of feels pretty lackluster due to this fact. Now, does all this mean Sunshine's Bowser fight is the worst in the series? No, definitely not. Even though this fight is weird as that doesn't exactly equal terrible. Like I said, most of the bosses in Sunshine are pretty off the wall in general. I mean, look at this one. We're literally cleaning an eel's teeth. What is my life? So, I would say it kind of fits right in line with all the other weird stuff in this game. And to be fair, this randomness is probably why I love this game so much. Almost as much as I love Galaxy 2. Now, Galaxy 2 is a very special game to me. This was the Mario game I grew up with, and I gotta say, to this day, it remains one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. I spent so much time playing this game as a kid, like, probably an unhealthy amount of time thinking more about it, to be honest. This game, throughout its entire duration, was an absolute blast. But when it comes to the final boss of this game, I honestly have to wonder what the hell happened. Like, holy crap, I don't understand how you can mess up a final boss this badly. And I feel Galaxy 2's final boss is especially made worse due to the fact that the finale leading up to this fight was actually really good, with one of the best final levels in the entire series. Seriously, that part with the lava wall closing around you and having to use the spicy pepper to make it to the end in time before you get crushed is just 10 out of 10. And that little Easter egg at the end where Yoshi will wave goodbye to Mario, wishing him luck in the final battle, is just so adorable! So glad to see the little guy is such a good sport after everything we've been through together. So clearly, with the final level that grand, the final boss is surely gonna be as great, right? So the first phase is pretty much just a repeat of what you've done in the previous 2 Bowser fights. Bowser throws meteors at you, and you hit them back at him 4 times, and then he's done. However, this is the final boss we're talking about, so of course the developers added a little something extra up his sleeve at the very end. So, they try to fake you out by thinking it's over. You won. The galaxy is at peace. But right before you go to grab the final star...
Surprise, motherfucker!
This is an amazing setup for a final phase. Faking the player out like that, making them think that really was it, just to have an additional phase after, is brilliant. In this game, executed it masterfully. They really do wait just long enough to make you believe it truly is over. And look, the setting is just perfect. The background is a giant vortex. The music is so freaking good. Man, this is gonna be the greatest fight ever, right?
12 seconds later. That's it?
This is by far one of the most pathetic excuses for a final boss I think I've ever seen. I wasn't joking with that SpongeBob time card, I'm dead serious. I mean, look at this footage, it really is over within seconds. Hell, I would've had it done quicker if I didn't miss this shot here somehow. Then again, I guess it wouldn't be me if I didn't have crap aim at some point in a video. Okay, so it's a really short fight, so what? Well, at least it's a bit challenging, right? Right? Basically, you will land on these meteors while flying through the air, and Bowser will slowly approach from a distance. And when I say slowly, I really mean slowly. He takes forever to get up to you. Now, if he somehow does manage to get up to you, what happens? Does he insta-kill you? No, that would make too much sense. Instead, he'll simply throw a generic punch at you. A punch that is ridiculously easy to avoid by either A, jumping to the meteor that's always spawns to the side of you, or B, a simple spin jump. This is also his only attack. A super easy to dodge punch that he probably won't even get to use since he dies so quickly. Oh, and the best part about this is that, let's say you somehow manage to get hit by this. Well, good news, his attack will break the meteor you're on, causing a coin to spawn, which heals you. It's literally impossible to lose this fight. Now, I know some people will get on my case saying, "Oh my god, it's a Mario game, they're not supposed to be difficult, ugh." Which, yes, is true, but there's a clear difference between an easy difficulty and then not even having to try at all. Now, even though this Bowser fight is super underwhelming and very anticlimactic, that's pretty much all it is. It doesn't have any ridiculous mechanics or has gameplay that's super infuriating to the point where I want to rip the hair out of my head. It still is very playable. I cannot say the same for Bowser in Paper Mario Sticker Star. Ah yes, Sticker Star, the game that so many people over the years have trashed as being one of the worst games ever made. Now, I'm not about to get into a big rant as to why people feel this way about this game. After all, there are plenty of videos out there going over that in great detail already. But I will flat out confirm to you, this game is really flawed. But for some reason, when I first played this game as a kid, I somewhat enjoyed it. Don't ask me how, I just did, okay? But even as the young psychopath that I was, I still did not like the final boss of this game. First off, most bosses in this game require you to have a specific thing sticker to win each fight. Kinda a little bit like a puzzle of finding the boss's weakness. This could have been a cool gimmick, if they actually did it right. The problem is, 9 times out of 10, there is never indication of what thing you need before going into the fight. Now with Bowser though, you don't just need one specific thing to beat him. Try 4 things! Phase 1, you need the tape to prevent Bowser from infinitely spawning enemies every turn. Phase 2, you need the scissors to kill the womp guarding him. Phase 3, you need both the fridge and the fan to dispel the Podoboos unless you want to take unblockable damage. And finally, Phase 4, you need a tail to hit Bowser off the cliff with his chain chomp. Okay, this one isn't actually that bad, since not only is the tail not a thing sticker, but also the previous stage had a crap ton of them. So yeah, I'll give this one a pass. The others though? No, not at all. I also should mention that this is the only fight in the game that you cannot run from. So if you go into it without the proper things, which is very likely, because once again, let me reiterate, there is zero indication of what things you need to have in your inventory going into this fight, well, you're kinda out of luck there. Now, funny enough, the final phase of this battle isn't actually all that bad. Wow, complete role reversal from the last entry, am I right? Pretty much, you only do 1 damage to Bowser, and then Kirsty sacrifices herself, which we really didn't care about her anyway, so whatever, and then you obtain the power of God in anime and kill Bowser. But yeah, that's the only good part about this fight, I'd say. Now, with all that being said, there is still one last cherry on top of this sundae, which is the music. One thing I think OG and modern fans of Paper Mario can all agree on is that the newer games still have amazing OSTs. With that being said, this battle theme for Bowser in this game sounds like having to listen to this for like 15 to 20 minutes straight does not exactly make me enjoy this fight any more than I already did. So taking the one redeemable trait from this game and messing it up is just kind of a kick in the face. Alright, we got one more to talk about, and trust me, this one will be quick. It's Trouser from Partners in Time. Honestly, I wasn't even going to talk about this fight originally because, well, it's barely even a fight. It's more of just like a mini game after the final boss. But I don't know, I guess it technically does count, so here we are. So you have just finished what is arguably one of the hardest final bosses in the Mario series, Elder Princess Shroob. And yeah, this fight is no slouch, like, dear God, this fight will kick your ass if you are not careful. So after that, it seems like everything's coming to a close. But then all of a sudden, Bowser's just in the throne room, he eats a mushroom, gets high as hell, and then you have to fight him. What the hell? Gonna be real with you, I have no idea why this fight even exists. It's kind of stupid. We literally just had a really great final boss with the Shroob Princess, and now they just, for some reason, throw Bowser here for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we already had a Bowser fight earlier in the game, and it was pretty awesome, where this takes like 5 seconds to beat. Basically, the gimmick is, Bowser will attack you non-stop. You never get a turn to attack him. What you have to do is just dodge his attacks a few times, and then he dies. Yeah, I'm not kidding, that's it. Now, I really don't dislike this fight that much. I really couldn't care less, but it's just really random why they decided they had to put this in. Now, there is something about this that I find absolutely hilarious and stupid at the same time. Now, if you somehow manage to die in this fight, which is very unlikely because, like I said, it's really easy, guess what? There's no save point before this fight, meaning if you die, you have to refight Elder Princess Shroob again. Imagine if you took hours and hours, like, trying to beat this super difficult boss as a kid, finally managed to beat it, and then you mess up here. Yeah, I can imagine many DSs were thrown across the room. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. And be sure to let me know in the comments below which one of these boss fights you thought was the worst. Personally, I would go with Sticker Star's Bowser fight, but hey, that's just me. Regardless, with all that being said, I'm gonna be taking my leave now. You guys have a great rest of your day.